My friend, close to 90% of us are mentally ill. And that's why you got garbage everywhere. They're not normal, man. We live with them out here, them poor bastards.
Is there any help for them, do you think, out here?
Sure, they're called people.
Gave him plenty of warnings. I think they said it 4 or 5 times, drop the guns, put the guns down, and he refused to do it. So the police did what they had to do, and they ended up shooting him basically right where we're standing is where he dropped dead.
People didn't used to use the word embarrassing about Seattle, but if you listen closely, you'll hear it a lot now.
You know, it's embarrassing. This is one of the most beautiful regions in the entire world, and right now, with lack of a better word, it looks like shit, and it's embarrassing.
My name is David Gellatly. I've lived in Vancouver, Washington since 2002. I love to call the beautiful Northwest my home. I have a son and most of my family's from this area as well. So Vancouver's in a really unique place right now. There's cities up and down the I-5 corridor that are losing business. They're looking to go outside the major cities and into some smaller cities and communities where they can really grow their company and be in communities with better schools and a better living situation than inside the major cities right now. So Vancouver has this great opportunity to bring businesses here. I talk to business leaders every day that are considering Vancouver and looking at options here, as long as the city will move in the right direction with the beautiful waterfront and the restaurants and being 15 minutes from an international airport. If we provide the leadership and incentives that draw those companies in, we can start to keep our residents working here in the city of Vancouver and not having to drive out of state. We don't want to give 10% of our income to Oregon. We don't want to sit in traffic for 2 hours a day. We want to work right here in Vancouver, the city that we live and love. Right now, we have that opportunity to go out and recruit these businesses and bring them in and have family wage jobs right here in Vancouver. It just takes the leadership with the foresight to see that, to go out and make that environment happen that'll draw businesses in. I was talking to an 80-year-old gentleman the other day. His income level is not going to change. There's nothing he can do about it. He's living in a tent, and he got beat up just 2 nights before that by somebody who took whatever they felt like out of his tent, of his belongings, because they wanted them in their tent. There's nothing he could do about that. So he just wants low-income housing that he can actually get into, and somebody that will help him get into a program to get back on his feet. Our hearts should kind of break for that. We should be wanting our elderly and most vulnerable people to be taken care of. We can't accept them just living in a tent on the sidewalk and getting beat up every night. As a community, we should see them as an extended family. We need to take care of each other, but we do have to do it in a smart way. We can't provide incentives. If we are known for giving away free housing, everybody from San Francisco, Portland, Seattle is going to come to Vancouver, and we'll never catch up. We can't incentivize people to come here from all different cities so that they become our problem, but we do have to take care of those that live in our community. The city of Vancouver started to try to find some solutions when they opened up the navigation center. They just went about it all the wrong way, and once that failed, they kicked the can to the county and they basically said it's not our problem anymore. That's unacceptable from our leadership. We need to elect people that are committed to solving the problem and doing something about it. Anybody that wants to mirror what's going on in Portland should never hold office in our city. If their policies align with the failed policies that we see across the river that created this situation, they can go to Portland, but we can do better here in Vancouver. Right now, we're seeing all this revitalization of downtown. We're seeing the beautiful waterfront projects and the restaurants and businesses come here, which is amazing to see this unfold, but we didn't do this. Our leadership didn't do this. This was done by leadership 3 decades ago. When we're looking at what today's leadership is doing, it's actually what are they putting in place to set us up for that same kind of success in the future for our children. We might not see the results of that for some time, but we can see what's being put in place right now so that that can happen for the future. We want to go out and recruit companies that have that level of pay that you can raise a family on. tax incentives and over-regulations. Those are all things that come into play of when a business chooses to locate somewhere. But when I'm talking to business owners, they're also thinking about the quality of life for their employees. Where can my employees send their kids to good schools? Where can they live in safe communities and neighborhoods? And Vancouver can be that spot. When I say that Vancouver has to be better than Portland, we have to be. What we're seeing in Portland from their failed policies has homicide rates up 800% year over year. The next highest city was at 60% year over year, but an 800% increase in murders in Portland is the highest in the nation. And we are seeing Portland's crime and problems start to extend over the river. And if our leadership doesn't take a stronger stand and do better, we will just become an extension of their problems. If we saw an 800% increase in murders in Vancouver, think about how you would feel living in the city. It's smaller, it's more close-knit. If we don't put the right leaders in place to be Vancouver and not just be an extension of Portland, we will go down that same road. I'm running for Vancouver City Council because I care about this community. I care about our citizens and I care about my neighbors. I've been in leadership for a long time. I've worked with leaders on every side of the aisle and from every background. I believe in our future. I believe in our community. We've had a history of always having the foresight to see what we could leave better for our children and grandchildren. And I want to continue that legacy and pass on a beautiful, better Vancouver to our children. And so with that, I hope you'll support me in this campaign for City Council.